target. Big sweep, finds the net. Oh, tip in, oh, tip home. Teku finds the goal. Already seen 1 second, driven strike, straight through. East Halliday finds his way through as well, and Uddingston back level.
The defenders here to help. He's able to put around Ferretti though.
Just like to play on. Feed across and a sweet ball. Really a Muir.
That was the difference there. It was a crash ball in. That little deflection through the shoulder that just changed the line, changed the angle.
Looks like the drag flick driven straight at the feet of Hadland. Now Miller charging through. Skip around the challenger, Crichton. Miller, the chance. Successive saves there. Through to Mullen. Now surely. Hello everyone, welcome to UDDY TV's coverage as our Gents 1's kickstart our Saturday against Grove here at Uddingston Hockey Club. Myself, Gordon McCollum on commentary duty. I've got Jack Melly beside me. Jack, how are you getting on?
Not bad, not bad. I'm glad to be here again. Obviously I was here last Saturday for an exciting game for the Gents 1. Here back again.
So we're not got rid of you, and no pressure, but you've been, like we said last time, you've been a bit of a good luck charm for dramatic, entertaining games, so we're hoping for more of the same today. Gents certainly been a team that know how to find the back of the net at home, at least, racking up some total of goals over this half season so far. And today, no doubt, is one of those ones they'll target. A win desperately important to keep top 6 ambitions possible. It's been a bit of a tricky run. And the narrow defeat last time out, Jack, it'll have rankled a little bit. I'm sure they've brought it into training to kind of step things back up again today. Important to set things right straight away with that in the next home game.
Definitely, yeah. Obviously it was quite a tight game all the way through. Very fast paced, quite frantic, but obviously dramatic at the end. Just lost out 4-3. Obviously that dramatic shot corner at the end, we all thought we were going to get a draw, but unfortunately we didn't.
Well, let's take a look at the team lines and see how our Gents line up today. Steve McKenzie captains the side, and it's very much an as you were from last weekend. Robbie Forrest, one of the players in the forwards on the score sheet last time out, he'll be keen to keep up the goal scoring form. Understandably for Tom Hyman, not too much he wants to change between last weekend and this, just a little bit of extra luck in the performance and the result to follow as well. There's a couple of minutes behind, as you can see, we're meant to be up and running, but a couple of minutes behind as the guys get set. First game of the day, so got a little bit of licence to do that. As you see, the guys just finishing their warm-up. Grove in a similar vein, still just getting themselves sorted. It's a pretty full calendar at Uddingston Hockey Club today, with games all the way through to half 4. We've got one little break at half 1. Ladies ones coming out back here in action tomorrow as well, so UDDY TV on Saturday and Sunday. So make sure you're subscribed and you'll be kept in the loop of all the UDDY TV streams. Like I say, slightly different one, us streaming on Sunday tomorrow. for the ladies ones there. Probably not quite yet, but they'll be making their way to Glasgow University for 2:20 kick-off today, and they're back here. It's a bit of a university double-header as they face St Andrews here tomorrow. That's at 1:30. As huddles started with final conversations between players, as we are almost ready, just waiting for the umpires to give us a little indication that we're almost ready to rock and roll. There they are, step out just in time. All smiles as the boys get themselves ready. It's been a little bit of hard luck at home in the last couple of games. Not just last weekend, but the narrow defeat to Western as well will have rankled a little bit, having had such good opening couple of home games against Inverleith and Hillhead, racking up a quick maths makes it 12 goals in that first 2 games. Since then it's been hard luck stories, but chance to turn that around here today. Connor Richmond Spouse with ball in the middle ready to rock and roll. We wait for final confirmation. Both umpires, players just making their way off the pitch. We're almost ready to get things started here. Gents ones get us underway here today. Big long aerial from Campbell picked out. Angus Miller placed his part in a quick turnover though as Uddy regained possession. Certainly something we saw last time at Jack was Uddy keen to start with a little bit of tempo, a little bit of aggression. I think this game as well, important to make sure you're starting the same way.
Yeah, definitely. It worked for them last time, getting the first goal. Like you said, we'll be trying to do the same again. We mentioned last week the importance of not letting that narrow defeat get in your heads for today's game. Keep the heads up and focus on today's game, so hopefully the boys are able to do that.
Just seen the opening couple of exchanges this first minute as Uddy back in possession in Campbell. Bit of pressure coming, but able to evade. Now Mackenzie. Campbell thinks he's spotted a deep pass through the heart as Miller can't quite keep it under his spell. There's Jed Campbell with the recovery there. Now a chance for him to drive forward and carry. Some complaints from the Grove midfield about that, but umpire's happy to let play continue as Uddy still with possession. Forrest, he kept that in play. He's out now. Still Uddy Bolo.
Good pressure from Uddy just as we start this first quarter off.
Khaled to Campbell. Now Mackenzie. Forrest thinks he's worked an opening. Chance to strike for Richmond Spouse. And he goes over the space right by the penalty spot.
Just couldn't keep the shot down, but really good build-up play from Uddy, as you see in the replay here.
Just one of those. I think he didn't have a lot of time to take that one on, so keen just to get it controlled and hit very quickly there, Connor. Just struggled a bit to keep that one down. But those are signs you want from Uddingston. You know, these early junctures. Okay, pressure and aggression and press is one thing. You want it to turn into shooting chances, scoring chances. Start getting them on the board, and that's, you know, we've seen that in the opening couple of minutes already.
Definitely. Happy with what we're seeing so far. Like you said, not only is it putting the pressure on, but it's then seeing the results from that as well.
Big launch, and there's a way to play out now. Grove trying to find some space, a little nip in from Jed Campbell, not legal.
What we saw last week's game from the opposition was when we were in the box getting lots of outcomes. We saw multiple short corners, something that Uddy maybe didn't get too many of. So maybe today we'll be hoping to slightly change that, and then when we're in the D, if we don't get the shot off, don't get the goal, make sure we get that outcome.
Certainly we saw the danger as well once they did start picking up the short corners. You don't want to be waiting too long to try and get that done. Is Campbell one of the ones you'd expect to be a danger man from the short corner, trying to bring the ball out of defence. Uddy can't get the job done. Allows Grove their first real spell of territory and possession in dangerous areas. What can they work from it? Pass towards the D, blocked out the first. Just a little loss of concentration there as it flicks up and behind.
Yes, that was the first time in this game that we saw Grove kind of get into the opposition's half, final third, put some pressure on, as we do again here, but nothing comes of it as the ball rolls out.
Kenzie. Campbell again looking for a way to move that forward, forces to settle for the lateral to Mackenzie now. Now he does go for the big gamble and the big aerial up the top. Leaps over one, leaps over two as it runs out behind, but a little warning sign that Uddy can just lift those over the top. I think there's a little confusion. Not sure if that's umpires or Grove. It's just an overrule in the umpire's decision. I think there was a petition. There was a long there initially that's been overturned. McFadden to help send that one forward, and Stephen Mackenzie in a little bit of a duel loses out rather than get the better of him. Penn back in the corner again, now trying to find a way to play out. We saw last weekend how teams grow into this, as Grove are growing into this, to flash across the face if Nick Hadlin's goal comes to nothing, though. Certainly seeing a visiting side that have survived that opening couple of minutes, now starting to ask questions of their own.
Yeah, definitely. Seems routine here that Uddy being at home want to set for dominance, start off quick, but now as the game settles, Grove starting to get into it with an unfortunate chance there. They're unlucky as the ball just trickled across the goal. It's now Grove that seem to have possession, controlling the game, as we'll be looking to get the lead.
Russell able to play his part in the recovery now. Campbell twisting, turning, looking for a little bit of room. He wakes his way, tries to make his way out to 25, but held back up, can just reset. Khaled back to Campbell. Everyone in blue stepped away forward, allows Jed to pick out Connor Richmond's space right in the middle there. Pass forward though blocked. There's a little The white circle starting to surround Conor Richmond Spouse. That ball came down. Now questions for the Uddy defence. It's popped up, but Louis Gardner parried away at the first, still coming back as it bobbles up, and umpire decision already given before it struck the body of Joe Russell.
Yeah, Grove definitely settling in here, getting quite a few chances at the start of the game. And now Uddingston trying to see what we can do. It's with Richmond Spouse as he pulls up the middle. It's out wide.
Looking for a bit of room, trying to work things on this near side. The left is Spratt there, but out of play, Uddy ball. Mackenzie right across the middle. Richmond Spouse trying to be the linchpin for that Uddy midfield at the moment. Russell can work it forward down the right. Khaled back to Russell now. Richmond Spouse, who's got space in the middle. Louis Gardner, Richmond Spouse. Uddy just exchanging passes for now. Really is. Chasm at times in the middle is now. Richmond Spouse step right and then Wilson in the middle, trying to pick things out. Uddy really just trying to kind of abandon that centre, find space elsewhere. Wilson. Pick at Gardner, good ball into the middle. That'll bobble for Haniff to take a strike. Force a good save at the keeper. Now McGregor trying to find a way across. Can't find a way to Uddy forwards. Gardner gets the benefit of the umpire's decision as he tries to nip in there, win that ball. See back in possession as he drives towards the D. Now looking for the shooting opportunity, blocked at the last. Just as that was starting to open up for him.
Some good opportunities here from Uddy.
Now Grove, chance to respond to that pressure. Crash ball through the heart is ultimately avoiding everyone. Kenzie, across to Campbell. Russell. Can't find a way to advance down the left side. Halliday. Lovely ball inside. Haniff looking for space to work this one straight into the keeper. From the rebound, Khaled. Back to Haniff. Now it's Richmond Spouse, another save from the right boot of the keeper. No problem there, umpire's called time off as goalkeeper's lost his boot. Well, it's a right boot that's worked hard and it's already showing signs of the strain, is it? Checked. A couple of important stops there though, really.
Yeah, definitely. A good collection of stops from the goalkeeper as Uddingston seemed dangerous in the D. There's a bit of confusion there in the rebound who was going to take it, but which could have cost him, but we were able to then get a couple of other shots off. But as we said, the Grove goalkeeper working hard.
See when the umpire's in conversation with Louis Gardner. See, Armike's not going to pick up what was said in the exchange, but meantime, keeper still down, needing a little bit of help. Doesn't look like he's hurt the Grove keeper, just a little bit of kit issue. Has now led to a huddle though for Grove. Maybe there are problems bigger than we realised initially. Certainly Grove using this as an opportunity just to take stock, have a conversation about how the first 10 minutes or so of the game have gone.
And if you are Grove, you'd be happy with the way this started. There's obviously the away team. Uddingston seemed to start off quick and strong, but they were able to get a fair few chances themselves. It's been quite an equal start to the first quarter here.
I think perhaps the only frustration for Grove will be when the pendulum has swung their way, have got into beyond the 25, started to ask questions. They've not quite been able to do much that's ask questions of Nick Hadland.
Yeah,
that's the next step for them. Is right, we're starting to get the pressure, we're starting to ask questions. Now let's make the goalkeeper do some work as well. Uddy already starting to cause those problems, and you know, unless your keeper has a blinder, the more of those questions you ask, the more likely you are to get an answer you like.
Yeah, definitely. It's one thing making sure you're putting the pressure on, creating those chances, but at the end of the day, the only way you're going to score a goal is when you're testing the keeper. So very important, like you said. So that's the game starting again now.
Grove keeper back to his feet and back getting involved. Boot back on. Certainly one is take another quick look at the table. Grove will certainly be looking at as a game where if they pick up the 3 points, that's a leap forward and really starts breathing down the necks of the teams above them. Depending on results elsewhere, ESM only 4 points behind them at the start of today. 4 points ahead of them, I should say, sorry. For Uddy, a win would pull them top 6. Jed Campbell, big aerial, trying to look for something more. Richmond Spouse, able to squeeze it through to Finn Halliday, into the D. Opens up for Luca Gardner. That was miscontrol, it just ran away from him at the last there. Grove's turn to open up the aerial. Jed's ball, the shout. Jed will want that one back. He did overcommit slightly to that one as it looped over his head.
He's tall, but he's not that tall.
Oh dear. Branches need to grow a little higher for that tree, I will say. Fahmy Khalid. As Uddy looked to reset. His turn to try and drop an aerial down the line. Andy Moore. And it's Uddy ball. Just waiting for Grove defenders to be aware of that time off now. Is that will be an easy green card for umpire to award, not 5. Just a little bit of confusion at the breakdown. Perhaps the Grove defender's not aware that it was Uddy ball. Khalid. Campbell. Already got a couple of minutes to try and press an advantage. Oh, lovely control in the end under the aerial. But the first, he didn't look like he quite had that, but really good recovery to keep that one alive for his team there. Grove defender. And it's lifted a little weight off, allowed him to step back out.
Yeah, it was lovely composure shown there, like you said. As soon as he received the aerial, you maybe thought he was going to bounce behind him to the other player, but no, was able to control it brilliantly. And now it's Grove, but get the ball away.
Look at Gardner now, and Joe Russell is again just happy to reset, recycle, move things back and find their way forward. Find their way forward through Finn Halliday down the left. Wants the direct route to goal. He's gone behind for a long. It's Alex McGregor trying to nibble in there. Richmond Spouse. Now Russell. Calla down the right. Now a chance to face this across. A little tip from McFadden. Draws the goalkeeper back out just to clear that one. Just a reminder, obviously, our clocks are not synced to any of the umpires. That little time stop I had for keeper's equipment will mean our clocks run on a little bit longer than normal. Russell, bit of a loose trap, and now Grove can work their way with a turnover. Great work across the left now. Just whipped away by Jed Campbell as the opportunity was opening up. McGregor and Miller trying to counter quickly with some urgency as McGregor being forced away, trying to squeeze a pass through. Can't pick out his man. That's Grove's trying to charge back on the offensive. Can't find a way down the line. Jack, that's exactly the kind of moment though from Grove just earlier there. You get to the D, you get to a shooting opportunity. It's whipped off your toes right before you get a chance to act on it as we end quarter one. But those are the moments where they'll be wanting to turn that into a shooting opportunity, a chance to try and find the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely. When you're in that position, you want to make the most of it. You want to at least get your shot off. But Jed Campbell stopped that, like you said, whipping it away before we could even think about our next pass. Quite a balanced first quarter there. Uddingston testing the Grove goalkeeper slightly, and like we've mentioned a couple of times, although Grove creating chances in that final third, unable to get their shot off to test keeper Nick Hadland.
See Grove in discussion there at the moment. Captain Gavin Byers certainly interjecting. You see trying to impart that into the team. Tom Hyman similarly got a little bit he wants to pass on to Huddy players. These only minor changes you can really make at this stage, but you've had a quarter to see what the opposition want to do, how they want to set up, whether you're right or wrong from what you'd planned before the game. You've now got your minute just to pass on a little bit of instruction and try and change things.
Yeah,
for either side, is it really that much of a change at this point, Jack?
Probably not. You can't change things too much when there isn't really a reason to change it, to put it simply. Stating the obvious, still 0-0, no real weaknesses from either side shown yet. So I think really just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe a couple of changes here and there based on what we saw from the first quarter, but pretty much the same you would expect.
Like we say, certainly for Uddy, there's been a little bit of testing for the Grove goalkeeper. You're wanting perhaps now to try and find a way to test his gloves or his hand pads as well, rather than his feet. You know, driven a couple of low strikes trying to find the corners, and the shoe pad's getting a lot of work, but perhaps time to try something a little bit different, trying to find a way past him. For the Uddy defence, it's like you say, keep it going, and what you've been doing has been working. Just try and limit those de-entries as much as you can.
So we're kicking off the second quarter now, and it's Jed Campbell into Richmond Spouse, back to Campbell.
All right, well, delighted to see Emma Reid, you're joining us for the remainder of this game. How are you getting on, Emma?
Yeah, well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. It's been an interesting tie so far. We basically need your help, Emma, for all the umpiring. Jack and I had a real tough time last game for anyone who was listening in for that one, and just drafted you in to try and cover the gaps in our knowledge, basically.
Yeah, no, there's not been much in it, to be honest with you. It was a good decision up there when the goalkeeper's pads came off. That was a bit unusual, I have to say, for the first quarter. But just a couple of wee scrappy tackles, but so far it's been pretty smooth flowing. Not much in it.
You see McFadden trying to keep the ball moving. There's Grove back beyond the 25, trying to ask them more questions. Again, it's just a pattern we're starting to see, that as soon as they cross that white line, as soon as they look dangerous trying to break into the deep, Buddy the fence steps on, takes ball away. Certainly for Coach Tom, that's something that'll be giving him a bit of comfort, even if at the top end of the pitch it's not quite coming together on the scoreboard.
I definitely think Uddingston have had the better hockey out of both the teams. Grove look to just be sort of hitting and hoping when they get down into the circle. So, yeah, it's positive. There's some nice hockey on display. They need a goal for their reward.
Campbell is speaking about, Grove's struggles at Uddy. Certainly content to just pass and move and wait for the opportunities. Finding it harder now, though, just to break through. Might take moments like this, just a little turnover in transition.
Yeah, Uddingston continuing as we went on from the first quarter.
Russell trying to just creep over the 25 and...
Oh, that was a wee bit naughty. Hitting the ball away. I think he was probably quite lucky there to not receive a card. But
something we were speaking about last game, and it's already started to rear its head in this one. Obviously, the ladder that you so gratefully informed me of early on season, for anyone who watched the umpiring seminar videos, got to stand in the back and learn all about that.
Yep.
But when you start to see cards for players, that should probably put in your head that every infraction opens the door for either the same level or for that colour to start changing. Obviously, early doors, quarter two, still not expecting that just yet. But
no.
The more you misbehave, the more the umpires will punish you.
Effectively, yeah. I mean, an umpire is never there. They're not out to get you as such. But I think it's just crucial to remember that you can always come down that ladder as well. If there is a yellow card given, you can still come down it. It's not always having to go straight to red or anything like that.
Good chance worked across as a bit of a tangle. Haniff bundles himself to the ground. Grove, though, able to work their way back out. Look for the air all over the top, the long bomb that's picked out.
That was interesting.
Well, you can't say that. Not
an interesting decision, because the aerial ball rule is one that's at the moment is under great dispute, because if you encroach in a 5 metre area and try and steal the ball, it's not allowed, and that's exactly what's just happened there. So it's all about angles. Matthew may have seen something slightly different. We also have a bird's eye view from up here, so we can kind of see everything differently. But yeah, I'm not too sure on that one.
We'll say I think it's a little bit harder to umpire a game from up here. Just shout really loudly. We'll get you a megaphone, Emma, next time you're on the pitch. Just come up here instead, just shout at them.
That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting.
Meantime, Louis Gardner keeps things moving, and Campbell. Kenzie. Inside is Khaled trying to work this down the right, just asked too much.
Hey Gordy, I've just spied Martin Maddens over there, so we're in Olympic royalty this morning. He's coaching both umpires this morning, so that's good practice for them both to get such good knowledge from him. You can't really get much better than an Olympic umpire.
But it's important as well, kind of the pressure that puts on you, but also the reverse, which means if at the end of the game you go, wow, there's a couple of things I wasn't quite sure of, you do have someone who wealth of experience to go, this is why you got this wrong, or this is why you were exactly in the right spot at the right time. This thing you thought was probably a bit routine actually is really important that you got that right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Grove just happy to move it about in defence for now. He's finding a bit of pressure coming for him. Certainly more what Uddy would like to see. Campbell just trying to snap in there. He would have forced the turnover. It's another little nibble from Campbell as he tries to help turn over. Throws to blast the umpire's whistle. Grove finding their feet again in quarter two.
Let's see if we can capitalise on this pressure here. As we've touched on before, something that we've maybe struggled with.
Drive through and no touch, but now discussion with the umpires of how much contact there was, if there was any.
I mean, there only needs to be a slight contact. I thought I heard contact. That's a very difficult decision as an umpire because it comes in so quickly. Very, very difficult.
Certainly one where you've got two umpires as well, and it'll be a... You both kind of have a good line at that one in different ways.
Yeah, I think maybe what's happened there is it's come through outside the circle and it's hit an Uddingston stick, and that's why it's a long corner.
Uddy just trying to survive now after that opportunity, still bobbling around in the face of the Uddy defence. Stephen McKenzie does his part in the turnover, so bit of a narrow escape there for Uddingston. And now Wilson, chance to cause problems of his own as Uddy go right up the other end of the pitch. Wilson will nip in just in time.
Good defensive tackle, very good.
We've seen that a couple of times this game from Uddy when we're under pressure in their own half and then just going on the counter attack, using their pace to try and get the other side of the pitch.
Grove just trying to drive back out. You can see there's not so many numbers to work with. You're basically asked to carry and hold at the same time. Wait for support, and in the end they do recycle backwards, now letting the numbers get forward. Certainly a difficult task for Grove, who've certainly looked to set up more defensively. Jack, that when you sit in a shape and sit in a system, when you want to counter, you've got to balance that risk and reward of how many you want to commit and how quickly you want to commit that.
Yeah, definitely. It is a hard game when you're sitting on the defence. It could be a good tactic to keep the goals out, but then, like you say, you could be caught out, and then how many commit the other side. Because we have seen a couple of times when Grove went on the attack, there's not been many numbers to attack with. But that's the risk we're taking.
Certainly, though, when they get a foothold, we are seeing Grove grow into it a little bit more. But that initial counter, certainly something you start to pick up, that they're reluctant to overcommit. And speaking of causing problems, Haniff trying to find a way to work this dangerous force back out at the 25. Halliday.
I think it's important that Uddy keep the pressure on and don't slack off, because Grove will step up. Crash ball throughs are their method by the looks of it, but they've now sitting half court, so they're basically asking Uddy to come to them and make mistakes, which is an interesting tactic at this stage in the game, to be sitting at half court.
Campbell goes for the aerial, trying to find a bit of space. Dropping one over the top seems to have worked, as Haniff can pick up, try and drive right on the edge of D, can feed it across, can't find a way to get an outcome. Grove now got to try and play this out. Find a way via the Uddy stick.
Solid defending seen there from Grove once again to keep Uddy out.
Gardner just forced back. Certainly looks like a more unorthodox back line for.
I was going to say
for
Finn
Ardee.
Halliday's in the back line. Normally he's up front.
He's been cameoing there, so too Louis Gardner, two players you normally see at the top end of the pitch. Jed Campbell, another one who likes to transition from defence to front line. All three of them playing sweepers. Uddy tries something a little different. Lift over the top, Mackenzie able to bring that down unopposed. Luca Gardner. It's a difficulty for Uddy. We've seen this now a couple of times in the last few minutes. Able to regain possession, able to work it around, but difficulty is getting it somewhere dangerous and holding it there.
And Grove are committing so many players behind the ball in their own half. It is hard to break down. Buddy trying to do so. Ball goes out.
Certainly, I mean, when you're saying about kind of the half-court defence early, it's perhaps a surprise. Some of that might just come from Uddy showing so much commitment to step forward and try and ask the questions and pressure. But you know they're going to commit. You know they're going to potentially get into a situation where they overcommit. You can sit half-court, wait for those mistakes and gamble on that.
It is a good structure to have, because if you think a team is going to eventually lose patience and then just turn the ball over, then that's when you can counter. And obviously Grove have shown that on the counter-attack they are very good. So for them it could be a good tactic.
Richard Spouse able to hurdle through a couple of challenges, trying to get another two more there, just runs out of road. Fan just wants that short. Byers. Donald is crawled now. A little bit of time to step forward the left. Keep that in play. Those little moments though will be the source of frustration. You build up a little bit of territory, a little bit of possession, you work it down the line, the loose pass, hands possession away. Those little errors just make the game a little bit harder for them. So Mowat just get a little bit of contact there, but everyone happy, and Andrew Moore and that's what they were looking for, Grove, that little step onto an Arrows turnover from Luca Gardner. Now chance with bodies in the D. Do lose out. This is where the overcommitment can cause problems. As Halliday shows too much to McFadden. Back out of that defensive shape. Grove as they get control back. You see the numbers are forward looking for that crash ball. Can't quite pick it out wide the left. Certainly interesting seeing them go from that defensive shape to get a little bit more control, able to exert it. And you watch that line just creep forward, and then it'll just sit there and wait for the opportunity when the crash ball comes. Yeah,
there's an awful lot of space in the inside channels at the moment, which Grove seem to be utilising with long balls through, but it's just unfortunate they can't pick up at the end. But I think as the game goes on, these will become a bit more effective. Ardee just has to switch on and make sure that they've got these lines covered.
Campbell and Russell. So he's already trying to ask some questions. Under pressure, Russell will lose out though. Trying to nip in to win that one back. Gives the away. Makes it easy for the umpires there. McFadden. That one doesn't come to anything. Approaching the end of quarter two, it's been a tense game from two teams middle of the table. They're wanting to really overcommit. Certainly stifled down into a bit more of a midfield slug from where we were in quarter one, with a couple of different opportunities for Uddy.
You're quite a balanced game so far. Small amount of risk taken from both teams. He's had to put the pressure on.
He was able to drive clear, and that one will run through. Will clack off Hadland's backboards. Campbell looking for the aerial there, didn't quite find a target he was keen on. Forced to just reset. Don't be surprised if he, when it comes back to him, looks for that again.
It's difficult to find an aerial ball when the other team are sitting so deep because there isn't enough space to then play it to make it safe. So that ball probably isn't the best option at the moment.
You certainly also run that risk of how you get that, like I said, that 5 metres of space, but also we've seen already some of the, it's a grey area to call. You ask umpires to make a difficult decision. That's not always going to turn your favour just because you've seen a couple go the way you want them to.
Exactly, yeah.
See an aerial pull back just there. Error in the middle from Uddingston now. White shirt stream forward as Grove go looking. Donald forced wide from that central spot. Looking to try and fizz one in now. Forced to try and keep a hold of possession. Last couple of acts of quarter two. Last couple of acts of this half. Fan finds his ball forward blocked. Just trying to size this one up before they do send it in. Another one that will run all the way through.
A wee bit of frustration there from Chris McFadden at the back. I think he's been playing a few long balls through and there's nobody there to get it on the other end, so a bit frustrating as a defender. You can see that, you can see the pass, you can see the ball, but you've got nobody to score it for you.
Umpire, just that universal calm down gesture, we all know it. And it's Alex McGuire getting a little bit of a talking to. Umpire's happy just with the verbals there. Khaled, his turn to try and crash one in, bounced up and around. Ought to get the short late on. Seen a couple of these yield successful. Didn't get too many against Grange last week, but certainly one. Umpire signal end of quarter, end of half that got to be looking to get something from.
You touched on it last week, Gordon, that it is a specialty from Uddy. They are good at their short corners. Got quite a few players there that are capable of putting it in the back of the net.
We certainly get a quirk from the time of the game. You see a blue wall ready to try and force something from this. Campbell, Russell, Khaled finds its way through. Uddy strike late on in quarter two, right at the end of the half, but they are ahead.
That was a really good finish. Really good finish. Post player was probably a wee bit unlucky. I think he got a slight touch on it, but yeah, great finish.
Just to see that one back in. Don't really think there's too much that's McFadden on the post can do with that one.
Nope.
Takes I think a nick on the way through past him as well. But just as always, starting to formulate how we speak about quarter two, that half in general, not really too much that's got you off your seat, as it were, and excited. We end the quarter with just a bit of a bang there. Is it really just a little bit of gloss on what's been? I'll start with you for a little bit of a kind of stodgy, tough fought game.
Yeah, I think both teams, you could probably argue, are worthy of a goal at this stage, considering where the play's been. But it is just a good close game, and that was expected this morning by this, considering where they both sit on the table. They're both very close to each other, so yeah, no, it's good that they've come out and scored, but I don't think they can rest. They have to keep going, Uddy, and Grove will want to score, and they're going to come out probably all guns blazing now.
Jack, probably about a minute ago, I would have said to you, both teams 0-0 at half. It's as it was in the quarter one. Keep doing what you're doing, and know that over the course of the game you're going to create a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit more clinical. Now for Grove, there is a little bit of change. Maybe it doesn't need to be massive, but certainly there needs to be a little bit of a gear shift to turn this around.
Yeah, definitely. The late goal definitely changes the dynamic of this second half, as opposed to what it would be without the goal. But like it was said there, it's still a very balanced game. Just because the goals went in doesn't change that. So they need to be careful that they can't underestimate the fact that Grove were pushing on, trying to get a goal. It will be interesting to see the second half, the way it pans out.
It was just another one that highlights the importance of short corners. I feel it's one of those kind of, for me, when you compare it to other sports, this is the one where the kind of set play where you go, this is the one that really needs to lead to a goal much more often than it doesn't. Which ultimately means when you give one or when you concede one, you know the game is hanging on a knife edge that can twist one way or another. Yeah,
like if you look at the statistics of a game and you see that a short corner has been the deciding factor in a game, then you can tell that it's been a very close contested match. If there's been 8 field goals, then it's a slightly different story. But short corners are really influential in a game. So if you can get a good routine, or if you've got plenty of options in those, then you're on to a win already.
Certainly for Grove, we were starting to see those de-entries almost akin to what kind of Uddy had last weekend, where it's just you get the de-entry, you maybe start asking questions of the defence, maybe the goalkeeper included in that, but you're not generating those short corners, which means you may be taking the low percentage shots on, and you're looking for, actually ideally you want to win the short rather than take the shot on, because the shots aren't really working and the short gives you something different.
Absolutely, yep.
We see there's some of the guys getting ready for Gents 3's match, I believe that is. It's coming on straight after this.
It's Gents 4.
Gents 4, isn't it? I'm
getting
Gents 3's is 4:30 today.
It is, yes, they have the graveyard shift.
Well, look, it could be worse. It could be. We could be playing on Sunday. I'll leave that for the ladies' ones who, like I say, probably still a couple hours away from getting underway in Glasgow before they are back here to face St Andrews.
Yep.
I'm sure you've had your share of doubles, whether that's umpiring or playing. Just hockey ends up dominating your weekend when it's like that.
It does, yeah, but it's good though. It's nice to be busy, and obviously we go to indoor in a couple of weeks' time, so I'll make the most of the outdoor season whilst we can, and the weather's been decent enough, so can't complain.
I was saying, Jack, last season we got to this kind of time of year and I felt like we were just seeing games drop left and right from the frost. We've been a bit lucky so far. I haven't really seen any postponements or anything like that. The cold snap basically just means we're going to feel it in December is what I'm getting to, and when we transition to indoor we'll be inside and warm and it won't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, I know this time last year I think there was at least 4 or 5 cancelled games, even within like our lower teams in the West District. It was mental.
Well, we're almost ready to get quarter 3 started. Like you say, I don't necessarily envisage major changes for either side. Just maybe that little bit more bravery required from Grove to step up and start asking questions. They know they need to get the goal back. Uddy, I don't know if you start to see the caution from being a goal front, no need to overcommit and overplay your hand, or whether you stick with the mantra that's worked you reasonably well quarter 1, quarter 2.
Grove need to be careful though. We saw in the second quarter that the moment that they commit slightly more players forward, they are capable of making that counter attack, making them pay. So although you're wanting to put the pressure on, you've got to find that balance to keep the opposition out as well.
So I just looked across as we umpires just waiting for signals, and it's Grove keeper just throwing everything he could out of the bag. I assume that's their PCT equipment. Just a little bit of a comical one there. We are all set. We are underway for quarter 3 now, though. Hadland as well, just readjusting the helmet as the game gets underway. Hannif able to drive now beyond. Ask questions at the edge of D. Open the door for Miller. Wants to just squeeze that one across for Halliday. Number 12, be careful, the shout. It's Donald just getting a bit of a warning from the umpire as it goes out for a long. Richmond Spouse. Things started quickly. Mackenzie already starting to start this quarter front foot. Take that momentum from the end of quarter 2 as Richmond Spouse trying to work this edge of D into body. Just go back to that opportunity they opened up there. Emma, I know we're more defensively minded on the score sheet last weekend, I should say, as well.
It was a fluke, Gordy. It was a fluke.
Fine. They all count. They all count. Nobody minds. But certainly for Angus Miller there, as it opens up, he wants to move it across Phil Halliday. I totally understand. Boy can hit the ball. There was certainly the time there from me, from my eye line, that he can turn around and take that one himself. Perhaps just one of those. You want him to have the confidence, but he also got to trust his teammates too.
Yeah, I mean, Angus is obviously one of the younger boys in the team. He's part of the aspiring boys for Brave. Just been selected for this new season. He will be looking to grow his confidence, but he maybe just thought in that instance he couldn't get his feet round or get enough power through the ball, so to lay it off the fin was the better option. It could be a confidence thing as well, but it's good that he even thought to make that decision rather than to try and fluff it. So yeah.
Poor Angus, he could have taken that on himself and said, Finn's right there, why didn't you just square it?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Robbie Forrest goes looking for an opportunity of his own, not had too much to sniff at. Just dancing around in the corner looking for something. Eventually tries to play it off foot, loses out. He's trying to do the defending of the duel in the corner, doesn't recover a ball instead. And
how difficult is that process of decision making when you're in the D in such a fast paced game, but then you've got a couple of players around you that you can pass to or to shoot?
I mean, you're asking the wrong person. I'm not normally finding myself in the circle very often. But no, it is difficult because you literally do have a split second to decide. So the fact that he managed to lift his head and make the decision to pass the ball was a really good one. So yeah.
I mean, you're more used to defending it, so I guess it's just kind of the flip reverse of being like, you got to decide whether you go to a ball carrier knowing they can move it on.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It's Grove driving down right, looking for a way to canter in as Campbell too much in the challenge. Not too much to show for quarter 3 so far, visiting side. They wouldn't mind an early opening, try and work something themselves. Instead, it's coming straight back out, and Richmond Spouse trying to keep this one away from the white shirts as they swarm. A little shrug there as if he's expecting a decision that isn't coming. The ball fired in, picked off by Campbell. You can see the tempo that Uddy are trying to play at now, trying to force things forward. Finn Halliday. Edge of D. Able to jump in. Wants to drive this across, no takers. Grove restart, that's not ideal for them as it opens the door for Khaled to send straight back. Over commitment from Richmond Spouse, loses out to McFadden. On the channel, not quite chaseable. Certainly these opening minutes, Grove starting to sit a little bit higher. I know they need to. Louis Gardner and Halliday by the left, wants someone over the top. Hannif. Louis Gardner. Still able to hold on to that. Defying expectations as he collides at edge of D. Will win the short corner too.
That was brilliant work there from Lee Gardner.
Just made a nuisance of himself. And
I actually think Matthew Deegan, the umpire, did very well to let that play on. He could have blown that quite early on, but he let the ball play and he upgraded to a short corner because there was 2 stick tackles and then there was a body check. So yeah, no, really good advantage from the umpire, and yeah, good drive.
a little bit of sympathy there for McPherson, who probably the last one with the body check, the one that gets punished for his part in it. But I don't know how much time he had to get himself out of the way and get in a better body shape. But
no, it's quite unfortunate. It's defender's nightmare, that, actually.
What he's seen one look at a short for Uddy and it's gone pretty well. What is the attack have in store this time? Jay Campbell back on to send in. Will it go straight to first castle? Fami Khaled again. It will, you know. And it's the same outcome. Post defender can't stop it. It roofs into the net as well. Just see it back again.
I think the goalkeeper was unlucky there to not get something on that, but yeah, really good placement again, exactly the same as before. So yeah, it's a brilliant finish.
Asking really difficult questions to the post defender there to try and get something on it without getting body in the way. And Uddy go to 2.
We've talked before, Gordon, about the short corner tactics. When it works the first time, do you change it or do you just keep on going? And we saw there that if it remained the exact same and we got the same outcome as we did from the first one.
If you're really good at something and it keeps working, why change it?
The only question now will be short corner 3. If it comes around, that's where maybe you sit and go, well, do we get greedy and try for a third time?
Yeah.
And now for Grove, that Hill getting a little bit higher now. Got to try and pull one back early doors here. Forced down in the corner. We'll find a way to get this beyond the D, but Uddy pickpockets now can drive back out. Kane will open back up again. Another chance for Richmond Spouse to charge to the middle. Again finds himself up against a white wall of shirts. McGregor able to steal away from his man, able to nip in time, and now a chance to drive edge of D. Alex McGregor feeds that one in quickly. Really, really good recovery there from Captain Bowers, just to nip across and lift that as the door was really opening for Uddy there.
Yeah, really good composure there to just play it back out to his player as well. Under so much pressure in his circle. Very good.
Mackenzie across to Campbell. Can't find a way through his man, but that's a loose touch. Talking about those little moments where you need the right weight on the pass, you need the right touch, just makes your life that much harder, and Grove had a couple of those. Obviously you spot those because of the game state. How do you maybe ignore them? A chance Ben Wilson trying to work it to McGregor, just runs out of room to keep that under control.
I think Grove have been unlucky actually to not get something up in their attack in 25. They've had some really good play, and like defensively they've been pretty solid.
Just one of those you want to, when you break that 25, really start asking questions of Hadlington. The frustration will be from Grove's perspective that when they haven't asked the other goalkeeper to do too much.
No.
I think the frustration as part will be that you know it's there, you know the possibilities there, potential's there. It's just trying to turn that around. Another chance to try and ask those questions as Grove with the turnover step forward through the middle of the pitch and now work it wide the right. The Hall will work it forward. in those little moments, umpire decision this time. You get beyond the 25 and turn possession over. The source of frustration growing. Aerial picked out by Wilson. Just helped that along. Richmond Spouse. So they get driving, can't find a way to link up though. They are starting to struggle beyond the 25. We're kind of hitting that time when you're starting to look at from a growth perspective. You want to score either tail end of this quarter, pull it back to 2-1 and set up a quarter 4 where you really push for it, or if you can't make it this quarter, you're looking to get a goal early in quarter 4 and really start clawing things back. But there are signs we're starting to see that growing more into quarter 3, looking for something more.
I think it's probably quite frustrating for Grove because they know that there's nothing really separating the game except from 2 good short corner routines, so they know that they can get a goal.
Certainly not having a chance at their own either, Emma. That you want to have faith in your own routine.
Yeah.
You want to start winning those, and that could be a way back in the game that creates a foothold on its own.
Yeah, for sure.
Ken's able to bring that one down. Another one from another decision. From the umpires under the aerial again. It's we talk about it as a grey area and something that needs to be policed, but what we have seen is consistency from the umpires on this one so far.
To be fair, Duncan got that spot on there. Absolutely right. He's blown them nice and early. He's kept the game safe. I can hear him talking to the players, calming them down. If you as an umpire start to get not aggressive but a wee bit uptight, then they will raise the temperature of the players as well. So he's kept very calm, so he's done well.
Just if we're speaking about an aerial and setting the standard, chance to weigh in there again as Grove try and send one into the D.
Yeah, totally crowded. It was a bit of a waste, I think. You see there was lots of bodies in the circle.
A chance for Uddy to try and break back out again. Halliday touch as he was always stretching, a little bit loose. Byers wants to try and drive this forward and quickly. Russell, his part at the turnover, I should say. There you go, they're able to carry through the middle again. The little nibble comes in. It'll be Uddy ball still.
Seen that a couple of times now from Louis Gardner. Just being tricky in the middle to try and create something.
Richard Spice just drops it short now. Here's Louis Gardner, a chance to drive in, strike at goal. Real test for the Grove keeper. He comes out the right side of though.
Just as we're talking about Louis Gardner, he goes and does it again, gets his shot off.
Heard you speaking about him clearly.
He's been causing them problems because he's actually just driving with the ball. I think when the play breaks down, it's when we almost overpass, and we've got the speed in the Uddy team to challenge Grove, and they're not coping with that. So yeah, Louis doing a really good job there in that central role.
Certainly something the Gents team's had as a threat from a number of different angles. I think there have probably been times where we've maybe more critical of the fact they don't pass and move a little bit more, that you do have players that can carry, that want to carry.
Yeah.
Certainly a more comprehensive performance in terms of offering different outlets and attack from Uddy this game. The defence that we'll be thinking now though is they've got a long corner just to keep away. So
that was for dissent, I believe, from what I could see. It was a green card from the Grove player, which was interesting because it was the attacker for Grove that got sent off in his attacking circle, so I'm not sure what he could have possibly been complaining about, but
Well, we've spoken off mic as well about the umpires wanting a little bit more in the last couple of years, taking a real strict look at dissent and it, trying to lower the barrier, partly because things are being said to umpires that really shouldn't be said on the hockey pitch. I'm not saying that's what's happened here, but certainly when you see cards given for dissent, it's just another reminder that the umpires are trying to be quick to crack down on things that are said to them.
yeah, absolutely. And like anything we as umpires go to now that's run by Scotch Hockey or our district, it is all just any sort of verbal abuse that you're given needs to be managed, because it's done on purpose. And that's another long ball from Chris McFadden that's just gone straight through. He's getting very frustrated now, I think. He's not getting the leads that he wants from his strikers.
Are we getting into that hockey player tree of if you're a forward, blame the defender, if you're a midfielder, blame everyone, if you're a defender, blame the forward, if you're a goalkeeper, you're just here for a laugh anyway.
You'll know all about that, Gordy, as a goalkeeper.
Sure. Something like that. Something like that. And they were just able to evade pressure and bring that out. Did really well, actually, and now tees up an opening for Uddy, try and work that. Just always on the reverse, was always going to be a difficult one. Now Grove need to try and make the most of these opportunities when they can try and turn and move things forward quickly. Not so many white shirts joining in support in a real battle with Campbell. And Jed Campbell has one out. Oh, left the door open though. Now the quick turnover, firing the legs, and a complaint from Grove players.
I think
It's clear a gesture of foot as you'll ever see the
Yeah.
raise the leg there.
Yeah, it's very difficult as an umpire to see if a player's done something deliberately, especially when they have your back to you. But yeah, Grove were unlucky there, I think, to get something.
Now Halliday, as Uddy looked for a quick counter, leaves it back to Miller, trying to find a way back through to him. Couldn't squeeze the pass through. Mind so much as it's just ran out of play for still Uddy ball. Possession and territory. Uddy looked to be ending quarter three with a few more questions to ask. Khaled trying to drive to edge of D, just shows too much, and Fan can recover. Lovely turn and burst of pace. It's just not enough though for Grove there. Spratt just having to carry the front line there himself. Kind of such a threat in the front line for Uddy, but actually not had so much he's been able to really force himself. See him there dropping wide left of midfield, trying to help create things. And time runs out on us in quarter three. We're going to take a quick break. Uddingston 2-0 up as it stands.
And that's us now. We start the fourth quarter here. So it kicks off Uddy 2, Grove 0. Grove will be looking to change things up a bit. Like Gordon said last quarter, getting a quick goal so we're not chasing for the full quarter. It's now Jed Campbell in the middle to McGregor. The pass back goes back to Campbell. We know from watching our game last weekend that nothing's impossible.
Like you say, so nearly turned around for the Gents against Grange. They go looking for something early in quarter 4. Richmond Spouse is driving across, and Uddingston will get the short. Just a quick editor's note as well. Emma Reid has departed the comms booth. Thank her so much for coming and joining us and providing her insight as well. She's off with other obligations, so it's just Jack and myself to see you out. Jack, a short corner, 2 from 2. We actually spoke about do you stick or do you twist. Now we'll get to see that decision making in processes as Uddy have that choice in front of them.
Definitely. It was good play from Conor Richmond Spouse to win the short corner. Some good tight play in the D. And like you said earlier, do you stick or twist? Will you change it up, or will you stick with the routine that has got both goals in this game? It'll be interesting to see. Jed Campbell getting ready to take the short corner. And it's the exact same once again. Fami Callan with the goal from the short corner. The exact same routine. Grove just unable to shut anything out from that, although it might be predictable. We see again just the exact same.
A bit of frustration there from McFadden as he getting the post. He just probably a little bit of frustration. Keeper steps out a little bit more, trying to cover that strike, and can't quite get across to it himself on the post. Not able to get the stick on it either. Like you say, Uddy. Well, when I said about potentially twisting and changing up the routine, both yourself and Emma looked at me and said, "No, you don't change it." You're right. I'm wrong. I'll happily follow the sword for that one.
But there is always the possibility, though, that if you do the same routine over and over again, the opposition will then know how to defend it. But not the case in this game, as all 3 goals have came from the exact same routine, from the short corner. And the umpire having a word here with the captain. See what happens from this, if it's just a verbal.
I assume this will be, you heard an outpouring, I'm sure Mike's picked it up, an outpouring of frustration after the blow of the umpire's whistle. It is a green card, captain's card you'd imagine on that one, rather than anything directed specifically at umpires. Okay, maybe I missed so there. Everything happy, we'll keep as we were. Either way, that we spoke with Emma on about, how these situations develop for umpires. You ask them to make these decisions, and the more you ask them to make them, the more you're going to lead to more infractions. So certainly seen that for Grove, as the frustrations mount, umpires going to be more severe with them.
Definitely, and we see once again that the umpires tried to shut out any verbal in the game. As soon as we hear some loud shouts or some talking back to the umpire, either a warning or a card is issued. Jed Campbell does well there to get away from his man. And it's out on the wing. Tanguy Miller. The ball deflected, and now it's Grove. It's Angus Miller again, but unable to find Richard Spouse, and it's now Grove on the attack, looking to get something in the late stages. But Joe Russell stops anything from happening. And it's Uddy back in the attack again. Is it now a case, Gordon, of Grove just putting foot to the pedal and going all out? There's nothing to lose.
I certainly think there's a degree that Grove kind of have to commit. Now I think there was certain phases of the game where you can sit and just wait and see what develops. Now 3-0, if you're wanting to get anything from the game, you really only have you've got a small window regardless, but you really have a small window where when you get the first, you will start to build enough momentum in time to turn the game around in total. As Uddy found out last weekend, you can build that momentum even with the early goal. That's no guarantee you're able to turn it around completely. It's a tough task to overhaul a 3-goal deficit in one quarter, but the opening chance to do that, good save from Hadland.
Just a slight defensive error there, letting Grove get a shot off. Something that they've struggled to do, although they have had some good attacking moments in this game. Nick Hadland relatively quiet, but it's still there. The danger's still there. And it is a goal. The moment we start to put pressure on the goalkeeper,
Well,
they do get the goal.
Like we say, Grove needed something early to kickstart a potential comeback. That is the something early. 3-1 now, and certainly a little bit of defensive lapse from Uddy opens the door. Got to be careful not to open it any further.
So now the dynamic slightly changed, although Uddy's still ahead. Grove now know that they can break that Uddy defence. They can get a goal in this game, and now it's a case of, can they get at least 2 late ones here?
First goal from open play too, so we've now got a mix, not just the short corner that's delivering the drama here at Uddingston Hockey Club, who's touched a little bit loose.
Now it's Jed Campbell. He puts it up the field. Nothing comes from that there. The game slightly opened up now after that goal. A bit more balanced. Grove will need to think what works, what doesn't, because we've not got much time left. And it's now the aerial. The ball's Joe Russell. It's Angus Miller. Slight mistake there. The ball goes out. Now Grove fight. Just to put the pressure on. Nothing comes from that there. The aerial cut out there. Grove now pass it round the back. Angus Miller does well there to guide it out. Still with Grove. but it's good from Khaled. Oh, Forrest unlucky there as the keeper came out just the wrong side of the post. That would have probably killed the game off if that went in there. Grove still got a chance to follow in the footsteps of Uddy here last Saturday for a bit of late drama.
Have to hope it ended the same way. Unfortunately, it ended for Uddy last time out, where it was all push, but ultimately no outcome. So Uddy lose out under the aerial now. Grove trying to push forward, ask the questions, hand possession away.
And we are seeing a similar step up from Grove here. Step up in intensity just for that final push, because it's all you can do. Not got much to lose at this stage of the game. 2 goals behind. Got to go for the goals. Will be interesting to see if Uddy realise that and begin to sit back, or if they're going to keep on going the whole way they have this game.
Not seen much sign that it is kind of batten down the hatches, and that kind of attitude from Uddy, still trying to play front foot hockey and ask the questions.
Yeah, they're still attacking when they can. Turning quite a balanced game now, end to end. And the ball's from McFadden. Does well there. It's a loose pass. Now it's back to Uddy for the counter. And it's Khaled. Over the Halliday. He's looking for his shot. And that's the 4th. Grove, just as they were stepping up that intensity, committing more men forward like we talked about earlier, caught out on the counter. It was some good play, quick play to get it up.
You were saying before that chance for Forrest would have been the thing that kills the game off. Imagine that goal there. And card shown. And Byers will make his way off it. Goes from bad to worse in a matter of seconds for Grove. And this game looks like it's running away from them.
Yeah, frustration's going to grow. We saw there with the card. Only natural. It's probably the scoreline doesn't reflect the way that Grove have played today. It's been quite a balanced game. Are they showing good attacking hockey?
And if trying to feed this forward for Richmond Spouse in the D. A couple of options in the middle if he can find a way to fizz it across, parried up and high and away. And Jack, I think you're spot on in terms of, we've said a couple of times over the course of the game, the short corners have really been the difference in the game. How much that 4th goal comes because Grove have to push and leave the door open at the back.
Definitely, we spoke before the game that there was a lack of short corners for Uddy last week against Grange. This week the opposite.
I mean, I still argue that you'd be looking to generate 3 and more if possible.
Yeah.
But it's just that clinical edge has been really, really telling for the home side.
I think there ended up being 2 last week, but obviously later on in the game was the 2nd. It's Gardner again.
Just speak that one into life as a lovely run from Gardner yields a 4th short corner.
We've seen it countless times today. Louis Gardner making himself tricky. Follow the defenders to cope with. Is, as Emma said earlier, very direct. And now we see Jed Campbell going to take the 4th shot corner, ready for the game. Will it be the same?
There's a little mix up to the setup is Haniff and Richmond Spouse are Castle 1, Khaled and Spears Castle 2. Who's the target? Khaled with a slip in for McGregor, the tip not quite looping over the Grove keeper there. It is a twist in the routine, it's a twist in the outcome as well.
Definitely, and that might speak volumes. The first time we've changed at this game, first time we've not gone for the shot corner, but it's now Grove. But Steve McKenzie done well to settle that there. It's now Rich and Spouse. Over to Jed Campbell and McKenzie. Driving ball up. Grove looking to create something here. To get a foul. So it's now McGregor looking to start the attack for Uddy. Nothing comes from that, and now Grove under pressure. It's now Rich and Spouse looking to drive, and it just trickles past the goal, no one able to get a touch on it. Frustrating for Uddy. We're nearing the end of quarter 4 now. Uddy had to be happy with the way that we performed today, but also at the same time, like we've mentioned before, Grove somewhat unlucky, but maybe just not created enough chances. Nick Hadland, the Uddingston goalkeeper, kept relatively quiet today. He's had a couple of stops. And it's the aerial from Jed Campbell to Rich and Spouse. So he puts it back to Campbell. It's Angus Miller. Out to McGregor. Tighten the D, but nothing came, and now Grove tried to attack. Does well there. Grove looking to get something else from this game. Second goal. Still in. As the other defenders surround him. Couple swinging and misses there. It's now Campbell with the ball. It is a Uddingston possession. Grove just unable to capitalise on that momentum there. In the attacking 25. Loose aerial. And that's us. The game finishes Uddingston 4, Grove 1, in a tightly contested game, which once again saw short corners play a big role in the game. Uddingston had to be happy. That's 3 points which put them into the top 6 in a mid-table clash.
Shall we just take a look back at key moments of the game? We see short corners dominated those early goal scoring chances and ultimately yield the benefits for Uddingston.
Yeah, definitely. 3 similar routines from the short corners, 3 identical outcomes. with the 3 goals, as we see here.
A source of frustration for McFadden sitting on the post for these, and you see that expression of frustration most strongly after the third one there. Deeply unhappy.
Definitely.
Good opening though for Grove to pull one back, and they might have felt like they had a chance to work more. It didn't quite come to pass in the end, and game killed off. Second bite of the cherry for Finn Halliday. Scored the important first against Grange last time out, but it's the killer fourth that sealed the game for Uddingston there.
Yeah, Halliday does well there. It was a good attack from Uddy. And we see now just good conversation with the Grove captain.
Thank you very much for joining us here on UDDY TV today. Just a reminder, if you've not found us by sort of social media normal means, you can find us at Uddy Hockey, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whichever your poison, TikTok as well, UddingstonHockeyClub.com for our new website this season, full of all the information you'll need to keep up to date with everything that's going on. Just leaves me to say, make sure you're subscribed. We're back again tomorrow as the ladies take on St Andrews. Find out how they're getting on a little bit later on. Keep an eye on our socials for any updates on that one as well. For now though, thank you so much for joining us here on UDDY TV. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Campbell the target. Big sweep. Finds the goal. We've seen 1 second driven strike straight through. The defenders here to help. He's been played around Ferretti though. Looks like the try flick driven straight to the feet of Hadland. He's Halliday. Finds his way through as well, and Uddingston back level.